The climax of Twilight every Tuesday right here on Mlimani Television has always been marking the very beginning of 30 minutes discussion named Mlimani Discussion Forum.
As the norm has always been, Mlimani Discussion Forum is confined to discussing all the matters pertaining to social and political affairs, economy, research, technology, and culture.
Right, but in the brand new edition that we do unveil here at night, the scope of the discussion has been widened to any topic that deems fit and well worth the discussion.
With young but dedicated journalists, you're about to witness a very hot discussion right here on Mlimani Television every Tuesday with me, Goodluck Paul.
And my name is Venance Fabian Majul. Get seated, the show is about to start like you've never seen before.
And I am Alfred Ganzo. Our hashtags are MDF, never seen before. Sit back, we'll be right back for the discussion.
Hello and welcome. This is Mlimani Discussion Forum, shortly MDF. My name is Venance Majula, and today we are going to discuss or to have a discussion of turning challenges into opportunities. That's our theme today, turning challenges into opportunities. We're having a lot of challenges, some critical challenges facing almost Tanzania, Africa, and the globe at large. So how can we turn those challenges into opportunities? That's our topic today. Let's have a break. We'll be back in a moment. Hello, welcome back. This is MDF. I said my name is Venance Majul, and today I'm luckily joined by my comrade Goodluck Paul. Goodluck, welcome so much on MDF.
Thank you very much.
You're
looking forward to have a very auspicious discussion today.
You're my co-host.
Thank you.
You expect to have an auspicious discussion. That's very good.
Yeah.
We are looking at turning challenges into opportunities, and I know you know that we're having some challenges, and those challenges might be economical challenges, political challenges, social challenges, sometimes technological challenges. But today, so we're focusing on how to turn those challenges into opportunities.
Indeed, you
Have you ever heard someone is turning a challenge into an opportunity?
Absolutely. I myself, I can be a good witness of that thing. You know, we're having challenges in our daily life. That's what makes us human beings. You know, you cannot be a human being without challenges, without going through hurdles. You know, but going through those challenges is not a big deal. The big deal is how you turn them to be opportunities.
That's very good.
Absolutely.
And mind you that at the moment the world is facing the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. Luckily enough, some countries have already reopened their economies. Lockdowns have been eased. So I think we have some people who have also used the COVID-19 pandemic to turn it into some opportunities.
Absolutely.
You can see some people developed some machines, mechanism to wash hands without touching those bottles, carrying the sanitizer, the soap and stuff like that. So that is utilizing some challenges.
Yes, and we have seen those things here in Tanzania, elsewhere in the world, people using this as an opportunity, doing online business, making masks, producing sanitizers and all those things which are used in fighting against this COVID-19 pandemic.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Maybe for your information, good luck and anyone who is watching the show, is that African continent is one of the very booming continent in terms of growth and opportunities. We have seen some people have taken initiatives into turning challenges into opportunities. In other words, you can say they are investing on entrepreneurship. You know, entrepreneurship is taking risk. You have like a little capital, and then you need to develop that capital into profit. You know, entrepreneurs have that mind that despite the fact that I'm having a little capital, they don't find it little.
Yes.
It is just a capital.
Yes.
So you might be having $200 US, and then say, oh, is it enough to open my company? Someone may ask that question, is it enough to open? But for an entrepreneur, that's not a good question.
Deal, yes.
So they just start.
Yes, and you have spoken something related to Africa as a continent of a booming population. And according to the International Labour Organization, ILO, in sub-Saharan Africa, the youth unemployment rate is at 12%, while this is slightly lower than the global youth unemployment rate of 12.4%, the African region has the world's highest rate of working poverty. For this reason, African entrepreneurship is central to Africa's future prosperity. So you can see, according to these statistics, and you can relate, entrepreneurship is something very vital towards looking forward to make sure that Africa is not branded as a continent which is struggling to move out of the poverty line. Yeah.
And very good point to make. So if it's 12 over 12.4, which is the world rate, so that means it is not only a job for the governments or for governments in the world to create jobs or to create opportunities for the youth, but I find here the importance of civil societies, non-government organizations, the youth themselves. They have a role to play. If we have entrepreneurship and if we have some companies that offer capital on loan, in other words, so they can offer you capital and then you develop.
Yes,
so it's the role of everyone's role to
indeed,
to reduce the rate.
It's not only those civil organizations or the private sectors. A person as an individual should find a role to make sure that he find opportunities in his surrounding, in our locales, even in the countryside, in towns. You know, we are living in a place where we find so many challenges, so many unsolved problems, you know. But sometimes it's us sitting down and say, well, this is a challenge facing our society, facing my family. How can I turn it to an opportunity? So we'll see later interviews that we have done with our colleagues in different parts, especially here in East Africa, how youth are turning challenges into opportunities.
So opportunities are there. It's you to spot them and grab them. So luckily enough, we had an interview, of course, with an entrepreneur. He's called by the name Arnold Shoko. He's an entrepreneur, but also a Tanzanian a person who is working to ensure that everyone has an access to job. Tanzania as well has a number of resources, like we have agricultural resources, we have business, we have entrepreneurship at all, which needs most of us or any person who wishes to be in business to take risk of. And one of the challenges is taking risk, that I have a little capital, then how can I start with that capital to invest in something which sometimes may end negative? So how should we do? I mean, like, what should be done to that mentality that we have no resources in our country, we can never get into entrepreneurship? How can we go about
that? Basically, from what I had experienced and what I'm experiencing currently, is that there will never be a time where capital as a capital will be enough. There will never be a time where, as a business personnel or as an entrepreneur, it will reach a point where you will have a lot of cash to run out the business smoothly. So one of the greatest capital that I always tell even my friends, I always tell them that they should focus on having the social capital. I mean, invest yourself to the people, invest yourself to the community, to the society of which you're coming from. Invest yourself to the people that surrounds your business, to the people that surrounds your goal of achievement. From there is where now you will pull up from having low capital to at least coming up into collecting some change, and then you just move up. For a matter of fact, there will be no time where capital as capital will be enough. That's what I know from my experience so far. Business is a little bit tricky. If you have social capital, you'll have economical capital as time goes on. What is really required in business is the social investment. How people perceive you, how well are you connected to the people? Because even if you have all the capital that you need, if you don't have these people to promote yourself, to speak well about your business, about your entrepreneur, about your entrepreneur agency, people will never support you. So
Sure.
it's always not about money. We are always confusing this. It's not about money, it is about people. We should first invest to the people and then find capital. Capital will always come as people will be getting, knowing yourself, people get to know you, people will participate in your business ideas and things of that nature.
That's good. I never knew that social capital comes first, all other capitals. That's good to hear from you. Finally, I would really wish to know your opinions. What are the most essential areas where youth can invest or can start to invest on?
Just outlining them, agriculture is one of the best sector, of which even myself, I'm looking forward into having some, I can call them junky investment in agriculture. But also agriculture as a youth, because agriculture requires energy, also requires a lot more of mind liberation. So when you invest yourself in agriculture and have a little faith, things will turn out to be good when you are youth, because as youth there is not more of what we call pressure, pressure of having kids, of having pressure of that nature.
Family matters.
So youth should take agriculture, but also if you agree to doing business, then they should agree to do business if they are ready to take business as their way of earning income.
Thank you so much, Arnold, for putting your inputs on Mlimani Discussion Forum. We appreciate your contents.
I cannot add anything from what you have spoken. Venance, you have heard him clearly how he shared his experience on how to turn challenges into opportunities, especially in entrepreneurship, which you have said is a vital thing toward moving Africa out of poverty and make sure that youth are not experiencing this unemployment challenge and things that we are struggling to make sure that our economy as a continent, as our country is booming. Yeah,
that's very true. But also, what I liked from Arnold is that he insists much on social capital.
Absolutely.
You need people to know you and to know what you're doing. For example, you gave an example that if Venance is selling juice, you need to have people who can taste your juice and say, okay, this is a wonderful juice, sweet juice. So if one says this is a sweet juice, means he'll tell others, they will tell others, and then tomorrow you'll be having 10 people coming to buy your juice. Then those 10 go out, and a day after, 20 people coming to buy your juice. So you need people to know you. You need people to know your business, and then you'll be in a very good position. For the recent statistics show that by 2020, this year, December, the African continent youth population will be reaching 42.5 million. And this is an estimation from the World Bank that by this year, they gave a range that between 2010 to 2020, the African population, especially youth, will be hitting 42.5. So in this range of 42.5, the huge number of youth are not employed yet, and most of governments, civil societies, and non-government organizations are insisting much to invest on entrepreneurship. And because we need people who do entrepreneurship, we also talked to Saida Ali. Saida is a co-founder of Her Fingers Can Code. This is a programming platform. They teach young ladies on programming computer languages. So because we have said by 2020, the youth population in Africa will be reaching 42.5 million, estimation by the World Bank. That means that we need, I can say, intrusion. To include the civil organizations, civil society organizations, the government, non-government organization. But with Saida and fellows, they developed these Her Fingers Can Code so as to raise young ladies to come into science, mathematics, and computer science. The target is to reduce that mentality that women cannot do in science. So that was a challenge, and then she turned it into an opportunity.
I think let's have a glimpse on that, and then we'll be back soon.
What are the critical challenges which you find out that youth can grab some opportunities from?
Well, some of the challenges that come along with the increase in population, especially for youth, is unemployment challenge. Actually, a lot of youth are facing an employment challenge, especially those ones that are graduating from universities. So you find out that someone is graduating and looking for a job, but unfortunately doesn't get a job. So that is one of the very big challenges that us youth are facing, especially during this increasing population.
Okay. You are the co-founder of How Fingers Can Code. How did it come about? How did it come about, and what did you see like I can grab something from this little ladies, and finally you came out with that idea?
Actually, How Fingers Can Code actually started from my class. I'm a computer engineering and IT student. Well, looking at the ratio of male to female in our class, it was a challenge to me, because you can imagine a class of 65 students, we had only 6 girls in a class. So with that, it came to my mind that perhaps girls are fearing technology. They fear science. So why should I not start something that will inspire girls to know that science is not difficult, to know that technology, it's a place that you can even run to. So that is what gave me a drive to start How Fingers Can Code.
The ratio between ladies and I can say females and males in science is a little bit at imbalance. It is imbalanced. And sure. One of the reasons I've just already mentioned, that they fear to getting into science. Why that?
I think it is because of the perspective that the society has built. Actually, we are growing up with a society, and from the society perspective is that girls and science are 2 different things. So we find out that a lot of people that are taking science serious are boys, and seeing that boys are the ones that are taking science serious and they actually succeed. Or actually that brings us fear. We see like, yeah, it is true that maybe we cannot do something because boys are there and they succeed. They make us afraid of them. So I guess that is the challenge. Actually, starting with How Fingers Can Code, How Fingers Can Code have a platform that girls from different areas of Tanzania, even outside Tanzania, can come, meet together and learn.
That was Saida Ali, a co-founder How Fingers Can Code, programming company, as I said, but also she is an ICT practitioner, so computer stuff and that. So she said about that she saw a challenge that most of girls were fearing of getting into science and mathematics, but she's moving up to raise that spirit in young ladies to adapt technology, especially in science and computer science as well, which is of course, you can see the imbalance between between boys and girls into science. I don't know if what you did in your high school, but there is an imbalance between ladies and gents into science. Today, as I said, I introduced to you, it is turning challenges into opportunities.
Absolutely, Venus. Yeah. And from that I can reflect. I was going through some articles and I managed to come across this article by Washington Post of March 12, 2020. It was trying to describe, we'll need to reflect what Isaac Newton did. I know you know him, exactly. A person who did wonders in physics and mathematics.
That's true.
So as we can remember, during those days, 1660s, Isaac Newton did wonders. And this was posted by a Washington Post of March 12, 2020. It was trying to explain how Isaac Newton used time like this to turn challenges into opportunities. You know, during those days, 1660s, there was the so-called the London plague.
That was another pandemic, the same.
Yeah, another pandemic.
Yeah, sure.
But not pandemic. It was a disease.
It was a disease.
It hit London.
Okay.
Yes.
It was specific in
London, and so many people died. Sure. It was a disease which caused black spots and all that.
London
remember that? Yes,
that's
absolutely.
True.
So Isaac Newton was studying at the University of Cambridge. So students were had to remain at home for public health quarantine.
Sure.
And there was so much emphasis of social distancing.
Social distancing. Yeah.
So without any professorial guide, Isaac Newton stayed at home, not idle, but thinking on how he can turn challenges in mathematics and physics to opportunities.
Yes.
And during this time, it's when he came out with famous theories of calculus, gravity, and optics in
So
physics
gravity.
and mathematics. And
Why
nowadays,
does,
mathematicians and
falling-
physicians are praising him so much.
Okay.
It was during this time when he was only at the age of 20.
Age of 20. Where
Yeah.
I was at my 20.
What did you do?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Well,
So
yes.
Newton
Uh,
used that challenge and came up with the gravity
Yes.
and calculus theories and stuff like that.
Optics and so forth.
So he was in a quarantine,
Yes.
and then he came up.
He didn't
He didn't
stay
stay idle.
Yes. Waiting for schools to reopen,
That's another
but
very good
sat
thing.
down and think of how he can develop what he was taught before the pandemic.
So the
before
same,
disease.
the same applies, so we can see the way half fingers can code are
Yes,
doing.
yes. And I think
So
at this
use-
time maybe
yeah.
students, because they had a long time staying at home, maybe they can come up with something bigger.
That's wonderful that
Yeah.
at 20, coming up with that big theories.
Yes.
That's just I would say. He's a genius, by the way.
Absolutely.
Is Isaac Newton a genius?
Yeah, he's genius and he's credited for that.
And that's very wonderful. So
Yeah.
we need to learn something from great people and great minds.
Absolutely.
That's Isaac Newton.
You're about to witness a very hot discussion right here on Demand Television every Tuesday with me, Goodluck 4.
And my name is Venance Fabian Majur. Get seated. The show is about to start like you've never seen before.
And I am Alfred Ganzo. Our hashtags are MDF, never seen before. Sit back, we'll be right back for the discussion.
Well, this is Mlimani Discussion Forum, and our topic today is turning challenges into opportunities. My name is Venance Fabian Majula. I'm joined by Goodluck Prosperity Paul as my co-host today. And to move forward, the UN Agenda for 2030 Sustainable Development Goals is another very important thing to look at, and the way unemployment can be curbed.
Yeah.
It's a very good point to
Absolutely.
note. The UN 2030 Agenda also looks at how we can reduce the unemployment rate, how we can create more jobs for the youth, how we can create more jobs, not only for the youth, but also for the whole world.
Yes, Venance.
That's another very important thing. So, can we have a glance on how, from your perspective, by the way,
Yes.
how youth is engaged into using this 2030 agenda into utilizing some resources,
Yes,
education,
Venance, yes.
and experience to reduce unemployment?
Yes, considering the fact that youth is the future generation.
That's very true.
Absolutely. And we're depending much on youth to make sure that this challenge is fought hard. Well, I had an interview with Albert Maloba, who is president of Kenyan University Student Association and also UN Sustainable Development Goals representing youth in Kenya, giving us an experience on how to turn challenges into opportunities and giving us his comparison between youth in Kenya and youth in Tanzania, how we're using turning challenges into opportunities. So let's have a glimpse on that and then we'll be back soon. I have a question that I would like to hear from you responding. You have been in Tanzania and you are now living in Kenya. So you have been in two countries. So what do you see the difference between youth in Tanzania and youth in Kenya in grabbing opportunities? Because we have seen people saying that many companies prefer hiring Kenyan youth because they have confidence and all that. So what do you see the difference between youth in Tanzania and youth in Kenya in terms of grabbing opportunities?
Okay, I will say that just like any youth, being have been so diverse to the two countries, to the two common countries, that is Kenya and Tanzania, is that in a scale of 1 to 10, I'll say that Kenyan youth, it's true, they are very aggressive. When it comes to opportunities and even creativity and innovation, they are very smart. And again, I will say that the Tanzanian youth also are. But again, we look at this in a demographic way, so that when we are turning this, we are looking at it in win-win situation. But again, I will consider that just as any youth, wherever you are in any country, whether Tanzania or Kenya, we all have an assignment to meet the standards of competency level that companies can desire and can wish to work with. And so in leveraging the same, I'll say that all the youths, I think the youth in Tanzania and Kenya, they're all the same. What makes it have a difference is just a matter of aggressiveness, which comes with a lot of motivation and the economic competency or growth that the country or the policies also that are placed on board that help the youth to see the future in themselves and to see something to do for themselves.
Thank you very much. Relationship between Kenya and Tanzania is like blood related, I can say. And so what do you think youth in Kenya can learn from youth in Tanzania, and youth in Tanzania can learn from youth in Kenya?
One thing is our youth in Tanzania and Kenya, I speak this, and when we are turning it to Tanzania and Kenya, I would like to just to extend it a bit and say that let's discuss about East African youth and say that the youth in Kenya and the youth in Tanzania or the youth in Rwanda, what we can interlearn from each other is just one thing: connecting. The youth in East Africa have been, it has been long since we learned how to connect. You'll find that very few Kenyans have a friend or have a network in Tanzania, have a network in Rwanda, have a network in Burundi. There are other things that you like to accomplish as a youth in Tanzania, or there's something you like to accomplish as a youth in Kenya through organizational skills that maybe you have, or through assignments that you're having as a person. Just like we are having the internet, if it were not that we are connected, then we could not have made this possible. So the only thing that a youth in Kenya and Tanzanian youth can learn from each other is connecting. If we learn to connect,
networking,
press it strongly, then we shall be at a better place.
Well, thank you very much, Albert. One more question is that you have been in UN Sustainable Development Goals as a youth representative representing Kenya. And in championing these goals, do you see an intensive youth participation?
Yes, there is a lot of intensive youth participation. One, it has been through the many associations or organizations that have been set forth that champion for sustainable development goals of the world. This is through education, educating people about sustainable development goals. It's true many youth do not know about sustainable development goals, but unlike to Kenya, when I'm talking about East Africa, I think Kenya has done a great job in ensuring that we have associations that talk about this. We have seen competitions coming out from different organizations that have registered with the UN, so that they start doing things in line with sustainable development goals of the world, because that's where the world is facing. And when you're talking about sustainable development goals of the world, remember that these are goals that were set out by United Nations. They came sat together and said that what can we focus on so that we improve together as a world? What can we have in place that will direct us to develop as one person, but not just as a region, or as a country? So if we have to go that route, it's just about associations which have been formed in my country, so many, and I think that is people to learn more skills, to be representatives of sustainable development goals, and even becoming ambassadors. I've seen that working, and it's really something that I'm proud of.
You know what I liked from your interview with Albert is when you asked him about the comparison between Tanzanian youth and Kenyan youth in terms of confidence when they're employed. That most of companies in Tanzania really like to hire Kenyan staff. That was very
I don't know if that is the fact, but youth in Kenya have confidence than youth in Tanzania. So I also believe that is the best from youth in Tanzania. You know, we have this.
So that's an opinion.
It's an opinion, sure. My opinion. We have this humility, this decency. We have confidence as well. So we're the best as well. So we have to make sure that there is challenges in East African community as East African youth that we need to make sure that we and Maloba insisted on networking.
Yeah, networking, you know, very important
absolutely.
thing. Yes.
And from networking is where you can grab opportunities.
That he mentioned young persons from Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania have to interact,
absolutely,
to interconnect. Then we'll be having the strongest East African community. That's very good.
Yeah.
Let's have a short break. We'll be back for the Did You Know section. Okay, welcome back. This is MDF, Mlimani Discussion Forum, and our version today we are discussing on turning challenges into opportunities. My name is Venance Fabian Majula. I have my comrade, Good Luck Prosperity, Paul. Can you take us to the Did You Know section?
Well, thank you very much, Venance. This is a Did You Know part of Mlimani Discussion Forum, and today we are going to see what Plato is credited for. Plato is a Greek ancient philosopher who is credited by coining a phrase, necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity is the mother of invention. So what did he mean? That when there is a necessity of a certain thing, or when you are in a crisis, or when you are hit with a problem, it's the time that you need to invent or come up with solutions. So a human being cannot know the importance of having solutions or coming up with invention or coming up with new ideas if he's not hit by crisis or a problem. That's the Did You Know.
That's very wonderful. So if you're not hit by a problem or by a challenge or anything, for example, we are now in the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic. So without this, maybe social distancing, using sanitizers, washing hands, regularly washing hands, because this was not our very good habit that wherever you want, maybe you're getting into a shop, you need to wash your hands or you need to use sanitizer. That was not our culture. So because of the COVID-19, we have now been told that wherever you go, you need to wash your hands. That is.
And if we talk of entrepreneurship, we know entrepreneurship is turning problems into commodities.
That's very good.
Yeah.
So we have heard some people who did that.
Yeah.
And entrepreneurship is taking risks.
So that's the credit to Plato, not you, not me.
So he said, necessity is the mother of invention. Wow, that marks the end of our MDF, the version of today, Mlimani Discussion Forum. We were discussing on turning challenges into opportunities. We had a lot of discussions, but our guests today were Saida Ali, co-founder Half Fingers Can Code, but also an ICT practitioner. We were joined by Arnold Shoko, who is an entrepreneur, of course, Tanzanian entrepreneur, but also we had our guest from Kenya, who is the president of Kenyan Universities, or Kenyan University Association in Kenya, UNSDG representative in Kenya. Saying that, wishing you all the best, take care, we're in the pandemic, stay safe, work safe.
The climax of Twilight every Tuesday right here on Mlimani Television has always been marking the very beginning of 30 minutes discussion named Mlimani Discussion Forum.
As the norm has always been, Mlimani Discussion Forum is confined to discussing all the matters pertaining to social and political affairs, economy, research, technology, and culture.
Right, but in the brand new edition that we do unveil here at night, the scope of the discussion has been widened to any topic that deems fit and well worth the discussion.
With young but dedicated journalists, you're about to witness a very hot discussion right here on Demand Television every Tuesday with me, Goodluck Paul.
And my name is Venance Fabian Majua. Get seated, the show is about to start like you've never seen before.
And I am Alfred Ganzo. Our hashtags are MDF, never seen before. Sit back, we'll be right back for the discussion.